Most people don't think twice about an itch. You scratch it, maybe put on some lotion, and move on. But what if I told you that persistent itching, especially in very specific parts of your body, could be one of the first signs that something much deeper is going wrong inside you? See, the body doesn't always shout when something's wrong. Especially as we age, it starts to whisper. Aches, fatigue, and yes, itching aren't just background noise. Sometimes they're signals. And the truth is, many people over 60 are ignoring those signals because they think it's all just part of getting older. Let me give you an example. A man named Harold, 78 years old, noticed his shins were always itchy. No rash, no bumps, just this dull, annoying itch that never went away. He chalked it up to dry skin, changed his soap, and slathered on lotion. Nothing worked. Months later, after his daughter convinced him to get a checkup, he was diagnosed with peripheral artery disease, a serious condition that was restricting blood flow to his lower legs. That itch was his first clue. And it could have saved his life if he'd listened earlier. That's the thing. Itching isn't always about what's happening on the skin. Sometimes it's about what's happening under it. In your blood, in your liver, in your nervous system. But most of us are trained to think an itch is nothing, so we ignore it until it gets worse, or worse, until something else breaks down completely. Now look, I'm not saying every itch means disaster. Sometimes it is just dry skin. But what I am saying is that persistent, unexplained itching in key areas, your legs, your back, your scalp, your chest, deserves your attention. Because when those itches don't come with a rash, when they keep coming back, when they show up with fatigue, swelling, brain fog, that's when your body's trying to talk to you. And if you're not listening, that silence can cost you more than a restless night. It can cost you your health, your independence, and your time. Think about it this way. If your car started making a strange noise every time you hit the brakes, you'd check it out, right? You wouldn't just turn up the radio and hope for the best. Your body deserves the same respect. That itch, it's the noise your engine makes when something under the hood needs attention. So no, we're not being dramatic. We're being smart. Because the people who live longer, healthier lives aren't the ones who wait for a crisis. They're the ones who catch the quiet warnings and do something about them. Let's start with the legs, more specifically, the lower legs, calves, shins, and ankles. Now, most people think itching in this area is just dry skin or the weather changing. Maybe they think it's because of socks, soap, or the fact that skin gets thinner with age. But here's what most people don't know. Chronic itching on the lower legs, especially when there's no rash, is often a sign of poor blood circulation. And in many older adults, that means peripheral artery disease, or PD-PAD, is when your arteries, especially in your legs, start to narrow or get blocked. Less blood reaches your lower limbs, and when blood flow decreases, your skin becomes dry, irritated, and more sensitive. It's like your legs are running low on oxygen, and the skin is trying to sound the alarm. Let me tell you about Dennis. He's 81, retired. Used to be active, but these days he sits more than he moves. A few months back, he started noticing his legs were itchy, mostly at night, mostly when he'd been sitting all day. No rash, no bumps. He tried moisturizers, changed soaps, even blamed his laundry detergent. Nothing worked. His wife eventually convinced him to talk to his doctor. After a quick checkup and a couple of tests, they found the real problem: circulation. That itch was his warning, and he almost ignored it. The danger here isn't the itching itself. It's what it means underneath. PAD increases your risk of heart disease, stroke, and even memory problems. And here's the kicker: most people don't feel pain or see swelling at first. The only clue is that annoying itch. So how do you know if this is you? Ask yourself a few questions. Is the itch worse after sitting for long periods? Does it happen more often at night? Is there no visible rash or irritation? No bug bites? Nothing obvious. Does lotion barely help, or only temporarily? If you're saying yes to most of those, that itch might not be skin deep. Here's the good news. You can improve circulation. You don't need a gym membership or a miracle pill. Gentle movement, like short daily walks, works wonders. So does elevating your feet when sitting, drinking more water, and wearing compression socks. Cutting down on salty foods helps too. Your legs aren't just legs, they're part of your circulatory engine. Doctors call them your second heart. For a reason, because they help pump blood back up to the rest of your body. If that system is breaking down, your heart's working harder. Your brain's not getting what it needs. And slowly, silently, your whole system is being strained. So next time your legs start itching and nothing seems to help, don't ignore it. It might be your body's first signal, trying to save your life, one scratch at a time. We've all experienced that uncomfortable itch in the middle of our back, the one that feels just out of reach no matter how hard we try. You twist and turn, maybe even grab a back scratcher, or find the nearest corner to lean on to try to get some relief. Most of the time, it seems harmless. It's just another itch that comes and goes. But what if that seemingly innocent itch keeps showing up in the same spot, especially at night? What if it doesn't go away with the usual solutions like lotion, a soap change, or switching up your skincare products? At that point, the problem might not be as simple as dry skin or an allergic reaction. Instead, that persistent itch could be signaling something deeper, something inside your body that might need attention. It could be a sign that your liver or kidneys, two of your body's essential organs, are struggling. Now, I know this might sound dramatic, but hear me out. Our organs are the body's natural filtration system, working tirelessly to process and eliminate toxins, waste, and other substances that our bodies don't need. But when these organs start to function less efficiently, the waste doesn't get cleared away as effectively. This can lead to a buildup of toxins in the bloodstream, which can, in turn, affect your skin and lead to things like unexplained itching. And here's the kicker. The upper back is one of the first places this irritation can show up. But before you panic, let's take a step back and look at this phenomenon more closely. Understanding the role of your liver and kidneys are critical organs that work around the clock to keep your body functioning properly. Think of them as the body's filtration system, constantly processing everything we consume, from food and drink to medications and environmental toxins. The liver works to break down and filter out harmful substances from your blood, while the kidneys help remove waste and excess fluids from your body. When these organs start to slow down, often due to aging, poor diet, lack of hydration, or the presence of certain diseases, the body begins to retain waste. The kidneys might not be able to filter toxins as efficiently, and the liver may struggle to process all the waste. As a result, those toxins start to accumulate in your blood, and your body begins to react in subtle ways. Your skin, being the largest organ in your body, is often one of the first places to show signs that something's not quite right inside. It's important to note that many people don't realize their liver or kidneys are having trouble until the damage is more severe, but these organs can give subtle signs that they need some help. And yes, an unexplained itch, especially on the upper back, can be one of those signs. Meet Janice, a case study. Let me introduce you to Janice. She's a 76-year-old retired nurse who's always been pretty health conscious. She's kept up with regular checkups and has never had any major health problems. However, over the past year, she's noticed a change. Janice started feeling more tired than usual. She used to have a lot of energy, but now she found herself needing extra rest during the day. Then, she started noticing some mild swelling in her ankles, which she initially chalked up to the extra strain from her busy lifestyle. But the real red flag came when she began scratching her upper back every night before bed. At first, it seemed like just another normal itch. Nothing out of the ordinary. However, it didn't go away. Janice tried everything, switching laundry detergents, buying new pajamas, and trying out different lotions and creams. But nothing worked. There was no rash, no irritation, no obvious skin problem to explain the constant scratching. It wasn't until she went in for a routine checkup that her doctor did some blood work and noticed that her kidney function was not as optimal as it should have been. The test results revealed that her kidneys were slowing down, nothing too severe, but enough to cause some concern. It turns out that the itch was Janice's body's way of alerting her to the issue. The best part? The itching didn't feel like the usual symptoms of a skin problem. There was no rash, no dryness, no change in her skin's appearance. But when the kidneys don't function properly, toxins build up in the bloodstream. And that excess waste irritates the skin from the inside out, often showing up as an itching sensation. Janice's case wasn't about dry skin or an allergic reaction. It was about her body trying to get her attention, using the most subtle sign it could: an itch. Why this itch can be so easily ignored. The frightening part is how easily this condition can be overlooked. We're all used to thinking of itching as a simple, harmless issue. We reach for the lotion or change our detergent, but if it keeps coming back, it can be easy to dismiss the problem as nothing serious. After all, it's just an itch, right? But when it comes to kidney or liver problems, the symptoms are often much more subtle than we expect. People don't always experience the dramatic signs of a disease, like pain, swelling, or major changes in their health at first. Kidney and liver issues tend to creep in slowly, one small, missed signal at a time. And the itch? It's just one of those signals. It's the body's way of whispering, "Hey, something's not quite right. Please, pay attention." What sets this type of itch apart from regular skin irritation is that it doesn't go away. It lingers, showing up consistently, often at night when your body is at rest. Unlike typical skin conditions that respond to creams or other topical treatments, this itch doesn't react to those solutions. And because it's subtle, many people ignore it until it becomes a bigger issue. Key differences: how to tell. If it's more than just a simple itch. If you've ever had an itch that seemed to go on forever, you might be wondering how to tell if it's something more than just dry skin or allergies. Here are some key differences that can help you recognize whether your itch could be a sign of something more serious. It sticks around. Unlike a normal itch that might come and go, this one lingers, often for days or weeks. It's persistent, no matter what you try. No rash. There's no visible irritation on the skin, no rash, no redness, just the itch. This is a key clue that the issue might not be with your skin itself. It gets worse at night. This is often a hallmark of internal issues. Many people with liver or kidney problems notice that symptoms like itching tend to worsen at night when the body is at rest and the blood flow is different. No relief from typical treatments. The usual remedies like lotion, creams, or changing your soap don't seem to help. This is because the problem isn't on the surface of the skin, it's coming from within. What you can do about it. If this resonates with you, it's time to take action. The good news is that you can address this issue before it turns into something more serious. Here are some steps you can take to help support your liver and kidneys. Stay hydrated. Your kidneys need plenty of water to filter out toxins effectively. Dehydration makes it harder for them to do their job, so make sure you're drinking enough water throughout the day. Cut back on alcohol and processed foods. Alcohol and processed foods put extra strain on both the liver and the kidneys. Reducing. Your intake of these substances can lighten the load on your organs and help them function better. Get a blood test. A simple blood test can check for kidney function and liver enzymes. This is an easy way to catch problems early, before they turn into something more serious. If you've been feeling off or have been dealing with that persistent itch, ask your doctor for this simple test. Review your medications. If you're on multiple medications, it's worth asking your doctor about potential side effects that could be affecting your liver or kidneys. Some medications, both prescription and over-the-counter, can be taxing on these organs over time, especially if taken for long periods. The bottom line, an itchy back might seem like a small, insignificant problem, but it could be your body's way of trying to tell you something important. That itch isn't the problem, it's just the messenger. And the longer you ignore the message, the louder it could get. So if your back has been itching and nothing seems to work, don't just grab a stronger lotion. Take it as a signal to dig deeper into your health. Your liver and kidneys are your body's filters, and if they aren't working as they should, it could affect your entire system. Instead of reaching for a temporary solution, reach for the truth. Your health might depend on it.